everybody, and welcome to the Creative Corner, where we meet authors behind the books, find a little bit about them, why they did the book, what the vision is for it, and a really exciting process for you guys to get to see. Joining me as usual, The Flash.
Hey bro, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. So I heard you had some tragic news just recently.
I did. I was just thinking with your intro, you were saying that we find out, a lot of things, and we find out that people behind the camera don't know what Star Wars is. Well, they do, but they haven't seen Star Wars films. I don't even know how that's possible. How have they? I'm heartbroken actually.
Well, we'll let Flash have a moment, console himself over the lack of interest in Star Wars today, and we'll meet our author. That would be good. MINI COZZI. How are you?
Woo! What, you don't have the buttons with the crowd?
Oh, we could put them in unedited.
Okay, good.
In fact, watch this. There you go. Hey, Lauren, tell us who you are.
I'm MINI COZZI, young 23-year-old, still young, 23, young, yes?
Yes.
Okay, don't want to rub it in too much.
It's okay, I've got 3 kids older than you, so that's making me feel very old. Keep going.
I grew up in a country town, small country town called, well, it was actually sort of between two. Tatura, which a lot of people probably haven't heard of, just outside of Shepparton. And then we moved when I was younger to Echuca, and that's where I grew up. And then I moved to the big city of Melbourne. I come from an Italian background, so very family orientated, lots of food, lots of family activities. My friends used to always laugh at me because every weekend I would have a family event. It would be like, oh Loz, what do you got on this weekend? Confirmation, christening, wedding, baptism, like what do you have? Always, all the time. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, growing up I had a lot of insecurities and a lot of pressures I had popped on myself, which I didn't actually realise, and it all stemmed from one little incident when I was younger, and that pretty much just developed into something bigger as I tried to push it down and just ignore it. And then just growing up, it just took over my life pretty much, and then got me to a stage where I was just so unhappy within myself, and yeah, got me into a really bad, dark place.
You're going to have to unpack that. So what did it lead to? What happened?
So pretty much when I was younger, I wouldn't say I was just your typical Italian girl who loved food. I had 2 nonnas, so not just 1, 2 nonnas, which meant double the food, double the love, and a lot of food. And so being young, I just ate whatever was in my sight. So I would go to one nonna, eat all her food. Then you'd go to the other nonna, eat all her food, and you just keep going. And it's like your senses weren't there. So like you could be so full and you don't even realize. You just keep going, you just keep unpacking and just, I don't know where, but you just found places to like store the food and you just keep going. I was a machine. So then growing up, when I went to primary school, and when we moved primary schools, I found I was with a lot more of Australians, whereas back in my old country town, there was a lot of ethnic background, so a lot of Italians, a lot of Greeks. Whereas coming from there, where everyone knew who I was, to a place where barely anyone knew, and I was associated with a lot of Australians whose parents let them do a lot of other things, whereas my parents, they were a bit more held tight. Being Italians, it was like, no, you can't do this, or you can't do that. It put me in a very unfamiliar setting, and I had been called fat a lot of times. Well, not a lot. There was one main incident with a young boy who actually said I was fat, and that just stuck with me till I was 22. And that was the moment where my unhealthy relationship with myself started. And it was just this cycle of constant body shame and a really negative relationship with myself.
So putting the label on that, and also tied to the book with the reason that you're here, body image dysmorphia.
Yes.
Explain what that is and what that meant for you.
Yeah, so body image dysmorphia, I was never clinically diagnosed with it, but if you read all the effects it has and the impacts, I was pretty much showing all the signs. So body image dysmorphia, there's actually a lot of people in society that have it and you wouldn't even realise. So it's pretty much you look at the mirror and you see something completely different to what someone else says. So I used to look at the mirror and all I saw was my stomach, my thighs, my arms, everything I hated, that's what I saw. So the person that was looking at me was not even me, or was not what other people saw. You only really see the negatives. So your mind makes this big scenario out of something that was so small into something bigger. So you start to see a bigger image of yourself and someone who's not actually what you actually look like in comparison to someone else's eyes. So it's when you just have a really negative relationship with yourself as well. So you don't see yourself for who you are or the body that you actually have. You see it for all the negative stuff.
So what did that mean for you when you were doing that? Were you not eating? Were you sick? What was the outcome of?
So that actually led to a very unhealthy relationship with food. I started restricting everything I ate, and I amped up my exercise as well. So I would literally go through a whole day, and what I would eat in a day would be very, very minimal. And someone who's from Italian who loves food and would eat, to all of a sudden, no, I'm too fat. How am I going to lose this weight? I'm too big. None of the boys like me. I stand out against all my friends who are so tiny. I need to change the way I look. How do I change it? Not eating. If I don't put food into my body, therefore I can't actually put on weight, and therefore I'll lose the weight and I'll be like everyone else. So that's what I did. I starved myself for weeks, months, years. And I was good at hiding it though. So Mum, she started picking up on it only because a few other people had commented on the weight I had lost. And because she was seeing me every single day, you don't actually really see the difference. And I was smart. I would wear baggier clothes. I wouldn't wear tight stuff. I would pretend I'm eating something, but then, I would hide what I was eating or put it in the bin. Or when someone wasn't looking, I would spit it out. Or I would have all these little tricks under my sleeve that I would then do so that she wouldn't catch on, or so my family wouldn't catch on.
A Journey to Health is the title of the book. So obviously at some point at 22, you had a bit of an awakening that this wasn't okay and that it was time for a change. One of the things that I noticed in the book was that you were, as most young people are, you're on social media and you're on Instagram, and you were editing images of yourself. You showed, and I commend you immensely for doing this, because it takes a lot of balls to be able to put images of yourself up there and show what I did and what I was. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the photos that you originally had, and you know that now, yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you'd edit them to reshape parts of your body, and so what you were seeing through your eyes was obviously what no one else, including your family. So how were you able to communicate that to your family? Because I found that absolutely amazing. I didn't know people did that.
Yeah. Instagram is a very toxic world. I guess there's a bit of a change that's happening. So a lot of influencers at the moment are actually coming out and being like, nah, we need to be raw. Don't forget, angles do wonders. Lighting does wonders. So they're starting to do the whole right now I look amazing. But if I just turn this way, look, I've got rolls. So does everyone else. So there's a lot
I don't have that problem. No matter what angle you shoot me at, it's there.
I've always got a best angle.
Well, this is a good point though, because we went to Singapore. It was Singapore with this. You know what I'm talking about, eh?
Yeah.
So we were in Singapore last year, and we were part of a group that went over there to speak about people being more important than profit. And we had a photo shoot, and I can't remember how it came up, but it was during the photo shoot, someone said chin nipples. That when you're getting your photo taken, is that right, chin nipples?
Yeah, chin out, nipples up. And so we went with this, and every photo, we'd all line up, and I don't know who, somebody would call out chin nipples, and kid you not, every single photo taken in Singapore looked amazing. We all looked like rock stars, and it was because of chin nipples. Whereas you take a photo a second after, and we'd all have rolls or double chins or whatever.
Absolutely.
And it's really interesting because, working with you on your book, I was the same. I had this moment of, oh my gosh, I didn't even realise people did this, doctored photos, that sort of thing. And interestingly, the other day I was scrolling through the old Insta, and I sort of stopped and thought, hang on a second, there's a bit of blurring on this photo, and sure as, this guy that I follow, he'd done it. So I went back through, and most of his photos, like I'm talking over 90% of the photos that are put up on his account have been doctored, and I hadn't even realised it. But it's just fueling this unrealistic expectations out there in social media. So it's really interesting that, you know, working with you on your book has actually opened my eyes because I never knew that happened. I was just like, you know.
I knew about Insta-shaming. I knew that Instagram and body image was a thing because my kids are your age. So, well, you know, I knew that existed, but I didn't realise that it could have that much of an impact on people. So what did you find through Instagram that you say it's toxic,
Yeah.
but it's changing?
It is changing. So I found you can do Instagram in two ways. One, it can be toxic and you can get sucked into this cycle and you can just find yourself, because I was looking at my Instagram and I was following models, bikini girls, people who I aspired to be because I thought that they had the perfect life or how they portrayed themselves was amazing. You know, I'm on a beach every single day. Look at my body at the moment, it's amazing. I can wear whatever I want. I'm eating out at cafes, I'm having fun. Like, you want their life because you think, oh, that's perfect. That's what I want. They're always smiling, they're always having fun, they're doing this, they've got the perfect body, perfect life. Who knows what they're doing for work, but they're making money because they're still here sort of thing, and they're going on amazing vacations. I need to do that. So you'd start to follow these girls. Or I found that I would go on a clothing label site, and I would see the model, and I would click on the model. I'll be like, oh, she's really pretty. Oh, look at all her friends. Go on to the friends, go on to her friend's friend, go on to that, and you just go down and down and down. And before you know it, you've literally just lost a whole hour just looking through all these profiles, and you don't even realize, but subconsciously you're putting yourself down because you're actually comparing yourself, because you're looking at these people, and yes, they may work hard, and I'm not shaming them in any way, but you are comparing yourself to them because it's like, well, why can't I have that body?
So to take that insight and to put that into a publication where other young people are going to be able to read a young woman's journey through this, where, as you've identified, your parents didn't really know and your friends didn't really know, that's going to give them a, oh my God, I'm not alone in this.
Really?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the goal?
That's what I'm trying to, that's the main aim. I found you think you're so alone. You think you're the only one. Like, yes, everyone has, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of society have body image issues or don't see themselves as who they actually are. But you don't really put two and two together, or you see something on Instagram and an influencer or a model or someone with a large following goes, I had an eating disorder. And it sounds bad or horrible, but you look at them and you go, yeah, but I can't resonate with you. Like, you've got this massive following, or you've still got this amazing body, or you're still a size 6. Like, I can't resonate with you. Like, no. And that's what I found. I would get these people who, it's beautiful because they would open up about what they went through, but you couldn't resonate with them. So you wouldn't really get that relief, like, I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy. And you wouldn't get that. So I thought, you know what, if I've gone through this, guarantee so many others, and not even just females, males too. Males, you'd be quite surprised how insecure males are, because it doesn't get, unless you're Ocean Reeve, okay.
No, I'm thinking about somebody who always calls himself fat,
Yeah.
a male, and I always kind of get pissed off with them because I'm going, really? You know, have you looked at me? And I don't, like I said, I don't have an issue with that. I need to lose weight, but it doesn't knock me, you
Yeah.
know, or change how I approach things. So when I hear that, I kind of get a bit pissed and go, you know, look at you, man. You know, you've got nothing to worry about. So I do know that there are
Yeah.
guys out there with these issues. Yeah.
It's crazy, like even looking like my brother growing up, he was Italian, loved Nonna's food, and so he was a bit bigger than the rest of his friends. And it was so interesting because when I actually spoke out and told my family what I'd gone through, he pulled me over and he was like, you know, I had issues like that. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, and because I remember him getting so skinny at one stage and so fixated at the gym. He would be at the gym all the time and going through that phase. And he goes, I had body image issues too.
Do guys do what you did on Instagram?
Yeah. Oh, guys can do it. So I usually saw it where guys would do it because they feel like they need to be more bulkier.
So they'd edit their photos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your life will change. Like
I said, there was this guy that I was following on Insta. I didn't realise it until I did realise it, and then when I did, I went back and was like, oh my god, you can actually see like around his shoulders and then like around his biceps. I was like, how did I not see that that's totally inappropriate?
Problem solved. I just need to, every time I put up something on Instagram, I'll just get like The Rock and I'm all good. You know?
yes.
Have you got a question for Lauren the Flash?
I do. I mean, so obviously you wrote this book because you felt that you couldn't connect with those kind of people who you felt were saying the same things that you were. And is that your target audience? Is that who you're trying to reach? Like,
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I find with my target audience, it is anywhere, I would say females and males. I tried to keep it very open with when I referred to people in my book, so I don't just say females all the time because males can definitely relate to elements of it. But it's interesting because at the start I thought, yep, it's for young females. The age demographics I reckon would be around 16 to probably early 20s. But then as I started speaking to people, and I found that when I was actually a trainer at the gym, I saw it in a lot of the older females, that I would be able to have such an amazing conversation with them, but see where their headspace was, and it wasn't where it should be. And you think, wow, so not just, you know, the 20-year-olds born in that technology era, social media era do face this. A lot of older females do, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. So when I then look back at it, I was like, you know what? There's no age bracket where I can just be like, yep, it's definitely to this, because it's so broad, because there's elements of it that will be able to resonate to so many different people at different levels. And so the way I wrote it as well, I wanted to be able to cater to a larger market because it is such a powerful topic that impacts the majority of society that it's like, well, everyone can learn from this.
The publishing process with Flash and the marketing with me, you know, there's a lot to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, goods, bads and uglies. Tell us, how did you find working with us?
I've learned patience. I'm very impatient. So I thought that this book would come out at the start of the year, but me being a perfectionist, no.
I didn't know that.
No. Yes, I'm very much a perfectionist. But yeah, it was good. Like, honestly, I've told a lot of people have actually reached out to me being like, how did you do a book? Like, a book just seems so out of reach. It's like, no, it's only those famous authors that can write books. But it's like, well, no, it's actually easier than you could think. As long as you have a story and you have purpose behind what you want, honestly, you can write anything because your soul just writes it. You don't have to be the best writer. And I know that you guys offer different things where you can help with writing and everything. So I found the process to be really, really easy. Not easy, it was very difficult, but I mean it was just seamless. Seamless is a better word. Seamless.
And I think that, you know, we've been talking about this a bit, that the focus for us is to take the stress out of the publishing process, because in a lot of, not every publisher operates the way we do, but we want to ensure that you have fun doing it and that you're still able to learn, that these guys, you and the team, don't deviate from the process because they know it works, and that's where the patience from you comes in. And yeah, we do want to take the stress out of it. It's important, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we're in the process of bringing on more to the team, more people to the team at the moment. You know, bringing on publishing coordinators, and one particular coordinator I'm working with at the moment. I've worked with her publishing her books, and she's blown away because she's like, I can't believe that all of this stuff goes on in the background and I had no idea. And I was like, well, I wear that as a badge of honor, so thank you. But yeah, she sort of said, you know, like the duck analogy, up on top you're all calm, but underwater you're like, ah! Because there's so much that goes on in the background, so much paperwork, so much lodgement, like, yeah, so it's really good to get that feedback, to know that we actually got there with you. Like, that's awesome. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You do, because honestly, I'm like to Ocean. I would literally, I knew that you guys were the ones, or to take you guys seriously, when I sent Ocean an email at 11 p.m. at night, And I just gave him a spiel. I was like, this is why you need to publish my book, blah, blah, blah. And then literally I get an email from him, I think it was like 4:30 a.m. in the morning the next day, thinking, because I tried to reach out to so many other traditional publishers and no one was getting back to me. And so that was very disheartening, because I was like, I'd opened myself up. I know this book can make a difference, but no one was taking me seriously. And then literally I sent an email at 11 p.m. I wasn't even going to send an email because I was like, no, I'm going to just get heartbroken again, disappointment, no, I'm not going to do it. My brother was literally like, get off your high horse, stop being stubborn, remove your bloody ego, and just email him. I was like, okay.
I believe the opening sentence was, you may not think I'm old enough or experienced enough to write a book. You may not think, and it was all this stuff. And I remember I read,
we had a phone call about it first up.
Check out this chicken, what she's saying.
I think it was it a weekend? Did you send it through on a...
I think I actually did. I think it was like a Sunday or something I sent it.
Because I remember having a phone call with you like early on a weekend morning, and we were like...
And if you actually go back, if you look over our Facebook and you go back, you'll see a time when that, I have to look at the dates, but when that happened, you started a bit of a roll-on for us. And I think I told you about this. There were 2 other authors who have approached us talking about the same issue in different organisations and circumstances. But there were literally 3 in 1 week. And you started that with your crazy ass email. What's next for you, Lauren? Now that you're a published author, what's the plan?
Oh, there's a lot in the works. I'm very goal orientated. So I've got all these different goals up here and all these different plans. I just need to rein myself in and just take one step. But I really want to continue promoting this message, start doing a few more workshops, and I've got a self-love diary coming out as well. And I've got a few more other product ideas to really bring to light this topic, because I find, especially when you think about self-love, a lot of people roll their eyes and be like, oh my gosh, another one. But it's so important, and it doesn't have to be as corny or whatever you want to think it is, because it's such an important topic. So I really just want to start bringing that to light and actually being like, no, this is a serious topic, and everyone should feel a part of it and should start doing stuff of self-love, like acts of self-love. And they don't have to be, go spend this amount, go do, like, they can just be simple acts. And honestly, the difference that has to your mindset is crazy.
So I always get lumped with the first of the crazy questions that we like to ask our authors. If you had to choose a spirit animal, what would it be?
I already know. Okay. I would be a tiger.
A tiger?
So I feel like tigers are very cunning, and they're very like they're just there and you just watch them from far. But then if you get them the wrong way, they'll get their claws out, and that's definitely me.
Really?
I've got a bit of temper. You ask my dad. I'll be really lovely one day, and then something will happen, and I'll just be like, and he'll be like, whoa, calm down.
All right, well, I've got one more crazy question too. As you well know, Flash, Superman, and Deadpool behind the camera there, and we've got a lot of other superheroes, so clearly there's a bit of a thing going on. It's not really about, I don't think I'm Superman, far from it. It's more about hope, faith, belief, and community, and creating superhero authors. So, what superhero would you be and why?
Ooh. Okay, I think I would be Wonder Woman. Why? I really like her outfit. Really cool outfit. I'm from a fashion background, really cool. No, I just think she's got that energy where it's literally like she can do anything. So how in society there was that little bit of a shift between, males can do everything, females behind the scenes, whereas she brings that masculine energy to be like, what, I'm capable of anything, I can do anything. And that's what I love, because she puts her mind to it and she can do whatever she wants.
Did you ever see the 1970s Wonder Woman by any chance?
No.
Yeah, watch that. Tell me you like that outfit. Hey, it's a bit different. Okay, Lauren, I want to thank you so much for coming and having a laugh with us and sharing your story. It's so cool.
Thank you.
Guys, if you would like to go and check out this book, which you definitely should, plus the Self-Love Diary, plus go and find her Instagram feed, just follow the links below. Go and check them out. They're amazing. They'll definitely make you laugh. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you next time.